It's getting warm again in southern Arizona. Now I've got these window sleeves. They're almost like pillowcases. And I'm showing you here, you put them over the entire window frame. I still have my windows up. What I do is I push in my mirrors. And because they don't fit, they're too snug, I have to use these magnets so the bees don't come in. Now, they do make those magnets make my hands black. Now doing the other side. I've already pushed in my mirror. See, it's too snug. It's too small. It's like wearing too small of clothes. So I pull them down and then I put the magnets there. So flies, bugs, whatever, can't get in. But those magnets do leave this black on my hands. So what I do is I've got some sanitizer, couple squirts, and then I found this rag and I just keep it right there. Yeah. And then I can just, dry them off. Because I've been using these on a regular basis since I've been in Tucson. It's a bit windy today. Well, this is what they look like from the inside. Now I'm going to roll down my windows. And turn on the fan. Hey y'all, well it got warmer again, okay? And I showed you the window shades. Somebody had given them to me and I had to put that, they're like, it's too tight. So I have to put magnets across because I don't want the bees crawling up underneath. They will get in here any way they can. I guess they can just smell food in here or something. So I don't want bees in here. This is my hive, not theirs, okay? They must stay out. Because if there was one in here and I started driving and I didn't know it was in there and start flying around, yeah, it could cause an accident. Yeah, those are pretty handy. I really like them. Somebody gave them to me and it's warm out again. It's going to get up to like 82 today. So I wanted to put those up. And then I've got my fan blowing just on low. And it's pulling in some air, so yay. I wanted to show you, I had promised that I would show you the ring that I bought. It is a lab-generated, it's a light color emerald. Yeah, I did not know, but real emerald, regular emerald, is kind of a frosty green. I didn't know that. But I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. There you go. I got the ring, it can adjust the size of your ring. And now I can wear this without, it moving around. Yeah, I do like green because I do have green eyes. And sometimes when I wear green, it looks really good. I get a lot of compliments. So I wanted to show these to you. I thought this came in it, and I thought these would be in instructions, but no. It's an actual silver cleaner or jewelry cleaner. Yeah, I cleaned this ring and cleaned it really nice. So, yeah, there you go. Pretty cool. Although I already did buy some. But this is what they look like. I wanted to show these to you. There's different sizes. I might as well just pull most of them out. There we go. So you can see them. Let's see. Yeah, like there's a bigger one for a bigger size ring, or a thicker, and then the smallest one is this one. So what I did was, and you can see, yeah, what I did was I started here because I wasn't sure. And I didn't know if I wanted to do the big round. So I started here and kind of wrapped this around. And then I could kind of pull this through. It's self-explanatory once you get them. But I was actually surprised. Here's one that I kind of used mostly, the small one. Yeah, the big one, here's a really big, look at that. Look at how thick that is, yeah. So, yeah, I do like it, and I'll wear it right now. And, yeah, I'm just kind of picking up a few nice pieces. So, and it's silver. I mean, it's always good to have silver. Yeah, this is actual silver. And then what it is these, I guess these are clear sapphires. So she said they're little sapphires. I don't know if they're lab created also. It looks like little diamonds on there. What do you think? I like it. I know I have older looking hands. I really do. I always have. I have had, of course, this one's a little bit, the skin is thin. Okay, it just is. I mean, my granddaughter, she's just like, oh, Grandma, you have old hands. And I said, I know. She goes, but I love them. And she used to rub my hands. I've always had older hands. I think why? Why are my hands older? I think because I did construction and I've used my hands. I've always been so active in being outside. And just being active. And I think what happened was, and I didn't, like in the Southern Belles, they wouldn't go out of the house without their white gloves, right? To protect their hands. Because your hands are going to be in the sun. Even if you have long sleeves, guess what's going to be in the sun? Your hands. Now, one of the reasons I use arm gaiters, they're called arm gaiters, arm sleeves, is because, not so much to keep them warm, but because I get way too much sun here. Because if I wear a short sleeve t-shirt, guess what's in the sun most of the time? This part of your arm and your hand. So yeah, I've got some sun damage on here, and sometimes I bruise, and it's just being older. I mean, I'm 70 years old, and a lot of people say, oh, you don't look it. I think I look 70. I think I look it. I mean, this is what 70 looks like. This is it. And, yeah, so, but I've always had these older looking hands, like the bones are out. I mean, if you're grossed out, sorry. Are you grossed out by my hands? But these hands are made for walking. Like the boots, yeah, these hands are made for working. They are. And I used to do construction. I used to do outside work. And my hands were in the sun. So, and the sun destroys collagen. Okay, so anyways, yes, I do like the rings. They're pretty cool. Okay, so that's that. I can leave the link if you really want that, okay? Now, here's another thing that came to my mind. These are things that I think about, okay? My daughter and I, we've been talking about psychology. She's a psychologist. And so since I'm here in Tucson, we do a lot of chit-chatting. We discuss things. And of course, with the whole family, we all sit around and we like to banter, and we like to laugh, and we like to discuss. We like to contemplate things. Another thing we like to do is quote movies. We're movie buffs, all of us. And we can quote from a movie just like that. And we said, what movie is that from? We usually know. But here's something I'm watching. I told my daughter, and I said, look, I'm watching this couples therapy thing. It just came into my timeline on Prime, and it's really good. There's 3 seasons. If you want to watch it, we've all been couples. It's not just because of, there's been a breakup in my life, No, I really was curious about it, and I go, oh, I gotta see this. And so we were talking about it, couples therapy. What really comes up as I'm watching this program, it's real life. I mean, it's reality TV. These couples have agreed to do this in front of the camera. So, and it's real life stuff. So a lot of things that come up are childhood trauma. I mean, even my daughter and I, we tell her childhood trauma. Everything's childhood trauma. Oh my gosh, childhood trauma. But really, those things really do matter in relationships. And a lot of times, these couples will get together and they'll find somebody that they feel they don't instinctively do it. But then they later realize, oh my gosh, I've been doing this. That can help them relieve some of their childhood trauma. Now, in my opinion, everybody goes through childhood trauma. I mean, it's traumatic just being a human being, isn't it? Like I say, we're all very, very fragile creatures. And we're a little frail. I mean, some people say, oh, not me. I had somebody actually say that comment, not me, I'm very strong. Oh, really? Well, if I cut you, you will bleed, I promise. And if it's a deep cut and you don't get help, you may bleed to death. So we are fragile creatures. The skin isn't like, it's not armor. That's why they had to make armor back in the day, because we are fragile. Our skin is fragile. Our emotions can be fragile, and our mental capacity can be fragile. And I talked about that. If you didn't see that, go look at the video. I think it's a couple of days earlier, that grieving and being fragile. Okay, so we were talking about childhood trauma, and something hit me. And I thought, childhood trauma? Since when has this become the big deal? In my opinion, in some ways, it's like we're not busy enough that we have to just sit and talk about and worry about and think about our childhood trauma. Everybody has childhood trauma. I don't care how wealthy you are or how perfect your parents are. You could get childhood trauma in school. Yeah, you can get bullied, or you can get, so there's always going to be trauma. There's always going to be things, because we're human, things we have to go through. And so I mentioned, childhood trauma. Well, I don't know if people were talking about that back in the day. You know, in the time I mentioned that I had watched this program about New York City from beginning to now. From the beginning, when the Dutch discovered it, Henry Hudson, and all that time, and the progress that humans made to build that city, and then our United States into this wonderful nation. I back then, I don't think anybody was worried about childhood trauma. They're worried about surviving, right? So I go, well, what about the pioneers coming across the country? I guarantee they weren't worried about childhood trauma. They were worried about, I better get busy and go find some food. And I better cut down some trees because I got to build a cabin. Yeah, I know. And it's funny too, because the couples, I don't know if anybody had to go through couples therapy back then. They married, and it was really kind of out of convenience, because they had to survive and they wanted children so that they could help too. And those children better not worried about their childhood trauma. Get busy and get out there and bring in some firewood. I know. And we all laughed about it. We were like, you're right. I said, there's no childhood trauma back then. Nobody even talked about it. But we got a lot of people right now, so a lot of young people have never been through any wars. No wars whatsoever. They were never shipped off to war. I think the last draft, wasn't that was Vietnam. And that's my era. I think my era, the boomers, say whatever you want, okay, boomer, people make fun of us. But I mean, we we lost a lot of friends going off to war. And our generation railed against that war, because it really was a senseless war. Oh my gosh, the generations after the boomers, there's no war that they've had to deal with. I mean, if you go to war, you enlisted. You were not drafted. And a lot of these younger people, I love you, I do, but you got a lot of time on your hands in some ways. And so you can worry about things like my childhood trauma. Way too much time on our hands, I think. So I wanted to, that was one of those insights that hit me, and I wanted to share it with you. And I don't know if you've ever thought of it that way, but yeah. Childhood trauma. It was a busy morning. I want to get all of my driving done early in the morning because traffic is getting almost impossible with Christmas coming and snowbirds, moving in. So I was at the post office, and now I'm going to do a chore that I've been putting off, and that's washing my van. It was pretty bad. So there's a really nice car wash that I have found and I can use. I'm still looking for a really, really good laundromat. I haven't found one yet. You'd think a city this big, but, in the area I like to hang out in, I use one, but I'm not exactly thrilled with it. But time to wipe everything down, shine it up. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a really good day. Bye.